Have you ever thought about how force yourself to be consistent can be the key to long-term success? Consistency is the foundation upon which goals are achieved. Success is not the result of one big breakthrough, but the accumulation of small, consistent efforts over time. Whether it's in business, fitness, or personal development, showing up daily, even when progress feels slow, builds momentum that leads to significant change. The more consistently you take action, the more natural and effortless success becomes. Through this discipline, you transform challenges into stepping stones, ultimately achieving your dreams with resilience and purpose. Consistency is more than just showing up every day. It is the force that holds your vision together and keeps it from falling apart. Think of it as the foundation of a building. Without it, your dreams and goals would crumble. The power of consistency lies in its ability to create habits that over time turn small actions into massive, life-altering results. Every small, consistent effort you make is like laying down another brick in the foundation of your success. And the more effort you apply, the stronger that foundation becomes. One of the clearest examples of how consistency builds momentum can be seen in the process of learning a new skill. Let's say you want to become proficient at playing the piano. The first day you sit down at the piano, you might only be able to play a few simple notes. The second day, you might improve slightly, but the progress feels slow. And you might even begin to wonder if you'll ever get the hang of it. But if you commit to practicing for just 20 minutes a day consistently over the course of weeks, your skills will improve incrementally. What felt challenging in the beginning will soon feel effortless as your hands and mind become more attuned to the instrument. This is momentum in action. This idea is mentioned several times with similar phrasing throughout the story. It's important to condense this section and avoid over-explaining momentum in different ways. Imagine trying to push a heavy boulder uphill. At first, it feels almost impossible to make any progress, and the boulder seems to resist every move you make. But as you keep pushing, even when you feel fatigued, something extraordinary happens. The boulder begins to move. The effort you put in today becomes easier tomorrow because you've built up momentum. Eventually, what once felt impossible becomes second nature, and you can keep moving forward with greater ease. The same principle applies to the goals you set for yourself. If you want to build a successful business, it might feel overwhelming at first. You may wonder how you will ever make enough progress to see the results you dream of. But if you break down your big goals into small, manageable steps and consistently work toward them, over time, you'll notice an undeniable shift. The small actions you take every day, whether it's marketing, networking, or refining your product, begin to compound, leading to larger, more significant results. Success is not the result of one huge breakthrough. Rather, it's the culmination of consistent, incremental progress. A good way to understand the relationship between consistency and momentum is to think of it like exercise. Imagine that you want to get in better shape, but you've never been particularly active. The first few workouts may leave you sore, and you might struggle to see any real changes in your body. However, if you stick with it, if you continue showing up every day, even when it feels difficult, you'll soon notice your body becoming stronger. Your energy levels will increase. And before long, what once felt like a Herculean task becomes part of your daily routine. That's momentum at work. Progress may feel slow in the beginning, but consistency builds momentum. And soon you'll see the results. But with consistent effort, momentum gradually builds, and the results start becoming more apparent as time goes on. Whether you're writing a book, building a business, or learning a new skill, the most important thing you can do is show up consistently, even on days when it feels like you're not making significant progress. Progress doesn't always happen in large leaps, but over time, your consistent efforts will compound and you'll start to notice the results. As momentum builds, it naturally helps us overcome resistance, the mental and emotional challenge that slows us down at the beginning of any new goal. You may doubt whether it's worth continuing or if it will ever pay off. However, as you stay consistent, your mind becomes accustomed to the effort and the resistance gradually diminishes. The act of showing up every day, even when you don't feel like it, creates an automatic response that drives you forward. This momentum, fueled by consistency, also contributes to the building of habits that shape who you are. Success isn't just about doing the right things once, it's about making the right actions second nature. As you consistently take small actions toward your goals, those actions eventually become habits. Your habits, in turn, shape your identity and determine your level of success. If you are consistently working on improving your health over time, your identity shifts from someone who struggles with exercise to someone who prioritizes fitness. It becomes part of who you are, and that identity drives you to keep pushing forward. Let's take another example from the world of writing. A writer who commits to writing 500 words a day may not feel like they're making much progress after the first week or even the first month. However, by the end of the year, those 500 words a day add up to over 180,000 words, enough for a full-length novel. What once seemed like a small, insignificant action has accumulated into a substantial achievement. This is the power of momentum created by consistent effort. You build your success brick by brick, word by word, action by action. In a similar way, you will start to see the effects of your efforts in all areas of your life. By committing to daily progress, whether through writing, working out, or advancing your business, you begin to see the cumulative impact where small victories propel you toward bigger successes. These small successes create confidence and further fuel your momentum, which in turn propels you toward your bigger goals. In the end, it is the quiet, steady force of consistency that makes all the difference. It's easy to get excited about a new project or goal at the start, but the real magic happens when you maintain that excitement through consistent effort day after day. When you understand that momentum is built slowly and steadily, you can take comfort in knowing that every small action you take today is an investment in your future success. So the next time you feel like giving up, remember that momentum is like a wave that builds as you keep paddling. And with consistent effort, the wave will carry you toward your goals, no matter how far they may seem. One of the greatest benefits of building momentum through consistent effort is that progress begins to feel more natural and less like a struggle. Initially, any new goal or habit feels like a heavy burden. But as you continue to show up and put in the work, something incredible happens. You start to experience a sense of ease and flow. What once felt like a monumental task eventually becomes part of your routine, something you do without thinking twice. This is the power of momentum in action. Small, consistent steps that add up and eventually create significant results. In the early stages of any endeavor, the process can feel overwhelming. Whether you're trying to lose weight, build a business, or learn a new language, it's easy to get discouraged when you don't see immediate results. The journey feels long, and every small effort seems insignificant. But when you commit to sticking with it, despite the slow pace of progress, the consistent actions you take will start to accumulate and build momentum. Eventually, what seemed like a small effort will begin to produce noticeable results, and you will see the transformation taking shape. Combine the fitness and business examples to avoid redundant explanations about consistent effort leading to results. Whether it's building a fitness routine or growing a business, the journey starts with small, consistent efforts. At first, results may be slow, but over time, momentum builds, making progress inevitable. You might find yourself struggling to complete even basic exercises, and the changes to your body may not be visible immediately. You might even feel like you're wasting your time as the results don't match the efforts you're putting in. However, when you commit to consistent workouts, day after day, month after month, something changes. Your body adapts. The movements that were once difficult become easier, and you start seeing physical changes in your body, such as increased strength, improved stamina, and perhaps even weight loss. The key to this transformation is momentum. The more consistently you work out, the more natural it feels, and the results become inevitable over time. When an entrepreneur starts a business, they are often faced with countless obstacles, from finding customers to managing cash flow. The work feels slow and arduous, and the early stages of the business might not show any significant growth. However, by consistently applying effort, marketing products, networking with potential clients, refining business strategies, the entrepreneur begins to build momentum. Slowly but surely, word of mouth spreads, the business gains traction, and revenue starts to increase. What initially seemed like a series of small, isolated efforts now compounds into substantial progress, and the business begins to grow and thrive. The same principle applies when you're learning something new. Let's say you decide to learn to play the guitar. Learning to play the guitar can feel frustrating at first, with difficult chords and awkward sounds. But through daily practice, gradual improvement will soon become evident, and your confidence will grow. Over time, your fingers will become more nimble. The chords will start to sound clearer, and you'll be able to play full songs. This is the essence of momentum: consistent small actions that build upon each other to create progress that feels natural, even effortless after a while. In fact, The importance of sticking to your goals during the slow phases of progress cannot be overstated. In the early stages, it's easy to feel that your efforts are too small to make a difference. However, when you take a step back and look at the bigger picture, you realize that every small action has contributed to the change you see. Much like planting a tree, you start with a small seed, and at first, it doesn't seem to grow much. But after consistent watering, nurturing, and care, that small seed turns into a strong, flourishing tree. If you gave up before it had a chance to grow, you would miss out on the beauty and fruit of your labor. The key is to trust the process and recognize that every step forward, no matter how small, is a part of the transformation you're undergoing. This principle also applies to relationships. Whether it's strengthening a friendship, improving your communication skills, or building a stronger connection with a partner, the process requires consistent effort. Early on, it might feel like you're not getting anywhere. The improvements seem minor, and you might wonder whether the effort is worth it. However, when you look back after weeks, months, or even years of consistent effort, you realize how far you've come. What once seemed difficult and uncertain becomes second nature. Momentum, once again, plays a vital role. Each positive interaction, each step forward in improving your communication creates a foundation upon which your relationship can thrive. Over time, what initially felt like a challenging task becomes more natural, and the bond between you and the other person strengthens. Another example of momentum making progress feel more natural is in the world of personal development. Suppose you're working on a personal goal, like becoming more organized. At first, keeping track of your tasks and organizing your day might feel overwhelming. It might seem like you're never going to be able to keep everything in order. However, by consistently practicing good organizational habits, such as setting daily goals, planning ahead, and creating systems to manage tasks, you start to notice a shift. Slowly but surely, your daily life becomes more organized. The effort that once felt forced eventually becomes effortless as it becomes ingrained in your daily routine. As you continue to maintain these habits, progress feels more natural, and you gain confidence in your ability to manage your time and tasks. This is the magic of momentum. It turns effort into ease. As you continue to show up and put in the work, no matter how small the actions may seem, they eventually add up. Each consistent step compounds, and what once felt like an insurmountable challenge becomes a manageable, even enjoyable routine. This is why consistency is so powerful. It transforms small, seemingly insignificant efforts into larger, meaningful results. The small actions that you take every day, though they may seem small in the moment, are ultimately what create the results you desire. The more consistently you pursue your goals, the more progress you will make. And over time, this progress will feel increasingly natural. The effort becomes ingrained in your daily life, and you'll find that you no longer have to force yourself to keep going. The momentum you've built will carry you forward, and before you know it, you'll have achieved the results you once thought were out of reach. This is the quiet power of consistency. The small, everyday actions that lead to big, life-changing transformations. Consistency is the bedrock upon which discipline is built. Discipline, in turn, is the key to achieving long-term goals and sustaining progress, even when the journey feels challenging. It is easy to be enthusiastic about a new goal or project when motivation is high. But as time passes, the excitement wanes. This is where discipline comes into play. It's the force that compels us to continue showing up every day, putting in the effort, and remaining steadfast in our commitment to our goals, even when external circumstances are less than ideal. In life, the path to achieving our dreams is rarely a straight line. The road is often filled with detours, setbacks, and challenges that make it tempting to abandon our goals. This is where resilience becomes vital. Resilience is the ability to keep going despite these obstacles. It's the inner strength that allows us to stay focused on our goals and push through the tough times. Just like discipline, resilience is cultivated through consistent effort, and it grows stronger the more we practice it. One of the most powerful examples of how discipline and resilience work together can be seen in the process of training for a marathon. At the beginning, the thought of running 26 miles may seem like an insurmountable challenge. The early morning training sessions are tiring, and the progress feels slow. Many runners experience moments when they want to quit, their bodies hurt, their minds are tired, and it feels much easier to rest rather than continue pushing forward. But the disciplined runner knows that the goal isn't achieved by simply wanting it or by taking shortcuts. It's achieved by showing up every day, putting in the miles, and being consistent with the training regimen. This consistent effort is what creates discipline. As the runner sticks to their training plan, they build resilience. With every tough run, they become mentally and physically stronger. The discomfort that once seemed unbearable becomes easier to handle. And over time, the runner builds the stamina needed to complete the marathon. The pain becomes a signal of progress, and the runner develops the mental fortitude to push through challenges. Resilience isn't just about enduring difficulty, it's about using those challenges to strengthen one's resolve and move forward with greater determination. Similarly, when you embark on any major project, whether it's writing a book, starting a business, or learning a new skill, the process requires discipline and resilience. Take the example of an entrepreneur launching a business. In the early stages, the entrepreneur may face numerous challenges, from securing funding to developing a customer base. There may be days when things feel discouraging and it's tempting to give up. But the disciplined entrepreneur doesn't quit at the first sign of difficulty. Instead, they continue putting in the work every day. They create a schedule, set clear goals, and follow through on their commitments, even when the results aren't immediate. Over time, the entrepreneur's efforts begin to compound. As they face setbacks, they learn and adapt. Their resilience grows as they find new ways to navigate obstacles. Rather than seeing a setback as a failure, they view it as an opportunity to learn and grow. This shift in mindset, from seeing failure as an end to seeing it as a step in the process, is a hallmark of resilience. Discipline helps the entrepreneur keep moving forward, and resilience allows them to bounce back and keep going even when things aren't going according to plan. Discipline and resilience are equally important in personal development. Consider someone working on building better habits, such as exercising more or eating healthier. The beginning is often the hardest part. The initial motivation might be strong, but as the weeks go by, the novelty wears off. This is when discipline is needed. It's about getting up to exercise every day, even when the weather is bad, even when you're tired, and even when you'd rather stay in bed. Discipline keeps you on track, ensuring you continue moving toward your goal, regardless of the circumstances. But just as discipline is crucial, so is resilience. As you face challenges such as missing a workout, feeling discouraged, or hitting a plateau, resilience helps you bounce back. It allows you to move past setbacks without losing momentum or motivation. A person who is resilient doesn't see a missed workout as a reason to abandon their fitness goals. They see it as an opportunity to get back on track and learn from the experience. Resilience gives us the mental strength to maintain a positive attitude and keep pushing forward when things get tough. One of the key aspects of resilience is the ability to stay committed to the process, even when the end goal feels distant. Whether you're trying to lose weight, learn a new language, or become better at a skill, the progress is often slow at first. There are days when you might feel like giving up, when it seems like the results aren't coming fast enough. This is where discipline plays a critical role. It reminds you that success is not an overnight achievement. It is the result of consistent, incremental actions that add up over time. For example, think about someone learning a new language. At first, the learning process feels slow and difficult. The vocabulary is hard to remember, and the grammar feels complicated. On some days, it feels like you're not making any progress at all. But through discipline, the learner continues to practice daily, even when it's hard. Over time, small victories begin to accumulate. The learner can now hold basic conversations, understand simple texts, or navigate in the foreign country with greater ease. The process becomes easier because of the consistency, and the learner builds resilience as they face challenges along the way. A key lesson in fostering discipline and resilience is the importance of embracing the process, not just focusing on the outcome. When we commit to long-term goals, we often focus solely on the result, losing 20 pounds, finishing a novel, or growing a business. While it's important to keep the end goal in mind, the real power comes from the small actions we take along the way. Discipline keeps us grounded in the process, and resilience allows us to keep going even when the progress feels slow. When we embrace both discipline and resilience, we empower ourselves to achieve great things. The discipline to show up every day, coupled with the resilience to bounce back after setbacks, creates a powerful combination for success. It allows us to stay focused on our goals and navigate the inevitable challenges along the way. As you continue to practice consistency, discipline, and resilience, you begin to see the results of your hard work, not only in the achievement of your goals, but in the growth of your character and strength. With these qualities, you'll find that even the most difficult journeys can be completed with patience and persistence. One of the most powerful aspects of resilience is the way it reframes obstacles. Instead of seeing setbacks as signs of failure or reasons to quit, resilience enables us to view challenges as opportunities for growth. When we encounter obstacles, we are faced with a choice. We can either allow them to discourage us or use them as stepping stones toward greater success. Resilience encourages us to make the latter choice, helping us stay focused on the bigger picture. Even when things get tough, with resilience, every obstacle becomes a lesson, and every challenge holds the potential for personal and professional growth. When we stay consistent in our efforts, we train ourselves to face difficulties head on rather than avoiding or fearing them. This mindset is crucial because it allows us to build the mental strength required to pursue our long-term goals, even when immediate progress feels slow or when obstacles arise unexpectedly. Consistency helps us develop the mental and emotional endurance to continue moving forward despite the difficulties we face. It becomes easier to keep our focus and remain determined to reach our aspirations, no matter how many roadblocks come our way. Take, for example, the journey of a student preparing for an important exam. At the beginning, they may feel confident and the studying might come easy. However, as time goes on, the material becomes more complex and the workload increases. The student might start feeling overwhelmed and doubts about their abilities could creep in. Without resilience, the student may feel tempted to give up or procrastinate. But with resilience, the student sees these challenges as part of the process, recognizing that every difficult concept learned and every hour spent studying is a step closer to success. By persevering and continuing their study routine, the student builds resilience and strengthens their resolve to tackle the next challenge, eventually reaching their goal. Resilience also allows us to stay focused on the long-term vision, even when the short-term results are not immediately visible. A clear example of this can be seen in the story of an artist. Many artists, especially in the early stages of their careers, face significant struggles. They may create dozens, even hundreds of pieces that are not well received or that fail to make an impact. Without resilience, it would be easy for them to feel defeated and give up on their creative pursuits. But resilience helps them persist, to keep creating despite the lack of recognition or success. Over time, their work improves, they develop their unique style, and their efforts finally begin to pay off. The obstacles they faced, the criticism, the rejections, the self-doubt, all became opportunities for learning and growth, allowing them to refine their craft and build a strong portfolio that eventually leads to recognition and success. Moreover, resilience teaches us to overcome distractions and stay committed to our goals. In today's fast-paced, distraction-filled world, it can be easy to lose focus and get sidetracked. The constant flow of information, notifications, and demands on our attention often makes it hard to stay on task. But resilience helps us develop the ability to block out distractions and maintain our focus on what truly matters. It trains us to prioritize our long-term goals over immediate gratifications or fleeting distractions. By embracing this focus, we can stay on course, making steady progress toward our aspirations, even when the world around us is pulling our attention in different directions. Imagine a writer trying to finish a novel. Writing a book is a long and difficult process. There are days when the writer may feel uninspired or the words don't seem to flow, and it's easy to get distracted by other tasks or interests. Without resilience, the writer may procrastinate, convince themselves that they're not capable, or abandon the project altogether. However, with resilience, the writer continues to write even on the hard days. They understand that setbacks are a natural part of the creative process, and that the act of writing day by day is what ultimately leads to the completion of the book. Resilience helps the writer stay committed, even when distractions arise, allowing them to make steady progress and finish their work. This commitment to resilience also extends to how we handle failures. Failure is often seen as a negative event, something to be feared or avoided. However, resilient individuals understand that failure is not the end, it is simply a part of the journey. When we face failure, we can choose to let it define us, or we can use it as an opportunity to learn and improve. A resilient mindset helps us bounce back from failure stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the next challenge. For instance, think about a person who attempts to start a new business. They might face a series of setbacks, from difficulty securing customers to managing cash flow. These challenges could be disheartening, but rather than seeing them as failures, a resilient entrepreneur views each obstacle as a valuable lesson. Each mistake or setback is an opportunity to refine the business model, understand what doesn't work, and find better solutions. Through persistence, they learn from their failures and continue to adapt their approach. Eventually, their business begins to take off because they have used the difficulties they encountered as learning experiences, and they've built resilience along the way. Resilience is also about taking responsibility for our actions and reactions. When we face obstacles, it's easy to blame external factors or other people. However, resilience empowers us to take ownership of our response to these challenges. Instead of waiting for circumstances to change, resilient individuals focus on what they can control, their efforts, attitude, and mindset. This proactive approach enables us to navigate obstacles more effectively and stay focused on the path forward. Consider an athlete preparing for a big competition. There are numerous factors outside their control: the weather, their opponent's performance, or even potential injuries. However, a resilient athlete doesn't let these external circumstances derail their goals. Instead, they focus on what they can control: their training, their mindset, and their preparation. Even when things don't go as planned, they maintain their commitment, adjust their strategies, and keep moving forward. As we continue to embrace resilience, we learn to handle challenges more effectively. The more consistently we face and overcome obstacles, the more resilient we become. This resilience is not just about enduring difficulties, it's about growing stronger through them. Every time we face a challenge and persevere, we add a layer of mental strength and emotional endurance that prepares us for the future. We learn to trust our abilities and develop the confidence to tackle even bigger obstacles down the line. In conclusion, resilience is an essential quality for anyone striving to achieve long-term goals. It helps us embrace obstacles as opportunities to grow and learn rather than seeing them as insurmountable barriers. With resilience, we can stay focused, overcome distractions, and remain determined to reach our aspirations. Through consistent effort, we build the mental strength needed to handle life's challenges, transforming setbacks into stepping stones that lead us to success. Consistency plays a vital role in mastering time management and developing new skills. Without it, even the best plans can fall apart. By incorporating consistent actions into our daily routines, we gradually increase our efficiency and ensure steady progress toward our goals. Effective time management isn't about finding extra hours in the day, but about making the most of the time we have. By following a disciplined approach, we can allocate specific time slots for each task and stay committed to that schedule. When we work on a new goal, the task often seems overwhelming. Whether it's writing a book, learning a new language, or starting a business, the initial excitement can quickly turn into frustration. Time management becomes crucial here. By breaking down large tasks into smaller, manageable pieces and dedicating time to each one, we create a roadmap for success. Consistency in following this plan ensures progress, even when the end goal feels distant. Take, for example, writing a novel. The process of creating a full-length book can seem daunting, especially in the beginning. However, by committing to write just a few pages every day, the writer steadily works toward completing the manuscript. Dedication to writing for even 30 minutes each day turns an overwhelming goal into something achievable. Over time, these small, consistent writing sessions add up and the writer finishes their draft. This steady, consistent effort is what leads to eventual success, starting with effective time management. Time management is also about prioritizing key activities and making each moment count. For instance, a business owner may set aside time every day for marketing or client outreach. Despite other distractions, dedicating time to these crucial tasks ensures steady business growth. Consistency in this approach builds momentum and leads to greater opportunities over time. Similarly, skill development is linked to consistent effort. Whether it's learning an instrument, mastering a new software program, or excelling in a sport, proficiency comes from regular practice. Progress may feel slow at first, but consistent practice leads to improvement. For example, someone learning to play the piano may struggle initially, but through regular practice, their fingers become more familiar with the keys, and they eventually play more complex pieces with ease. This consistent practice creates momentum. Early on, progress may seem insignificant, but as we persist, small wins accumulate and lead to mastery. The same principle applies to any skill development. The key is to practice regularly even on difficult days. Consistency also helps build resilience, which is essential for both time management and skill development. When we practice consistently, setbacks and obstacles arise. We might miss a deadline, make mistakes, or feel discouraged by slow progress. Resilience helps us bounce back. For example, a student failing an exam might reassess their study habits and adjust their schedule rather than giving up. Resilience ensures that we stay committed to our goals despite challenges. Building effective time management skills also requires consistency. It's easy to procrastinate, especially when tasks seem overwhelming. However, by sticking to a schedule and setting priorities, we make progress more manageable. For instance, dedicating time every day to a long-term project, such as writing a research paper, ensures steady progress. With this consistency, the task becomes less daunting and the work gets done on time. In conclusion, both time management and skill development thrive on consistency. By consistently allocating time for important tasks and practicing regularly, we make steady progress toward our goals. Whether it's writing, mastering a skill, or growing a business, time management helps use our time efficiently, while consistency ensures continuous improvement. Over time, this consistency leads to the achievement of long-term goals and the development of valuable skills. Alongside time management, consistency plays a pivotal role in skill development. The process of mastering any skill, whether it's writing, playing an instrument, or learning a new technique, depends heavily on consistent practice. Skill development is rarely about dramatic breakthroughs, but about the steady, continuous improvement that results from regular effort. This is why consistency is so important. It allows us to refine our abilities, overcome obstacles, and steadily progress toward mastery. Consider the example of learning to play the guitar. At the beginning, each new chord feels difficult, and the fingers may not move as smoothly as you want them to. However, when you practice regularly, even just for a short period each day, your fingers become accustomed to the positions. Your hand strength improves, and your playing becomes more fluid. This gradual improvement would not be possible without consistent practice. Even though it might seem like you're not making big leaps, each small session builds on the last, and over time, your skills compound. The same principle applies to writing. Aspiring writers often find that the first drafts are filled with flaws, and it's easy to feel discouraged when the writing doesn't seem to improve quickly. However, consistent writing, even if it's just a few hundred words each day, leads to steady growth. With each day of practice, writers begin to find their voice, develop their style, and understand their strengths and weaknesses. Over time, the small, consistent writing sessions add up, resulting in more polished work and greater proficiency in writing. This concept also applies to skill development in professional fields. Whether it's learning new software, acquiring management skills, or honing technical expertise, consistent practice leads to mastery. For instance, consider a person learning to code. Initially, the syntax might be confusing, and the logic behind writing a program may seem complex. However, with daily practice, even small coding exercises each day, they gradually become more comfortable with the language. Eventually, this consistent effort allows them to tackle more complex projects and eventually master the coding language, contributing to their career growth. The key to this continuous improvement is not just the number of hours we spend practicing, but the consistency with which we do it. When we practice consistently, we create habits that enable us to continually improve. These habits turn small, individual efforts into long-term progress. Moreover, consistency helps build resilience. The road to mastery is rarely smooth, and setbacks are inevitable. However, by committing to consistent practice, we develop the mental strength to push through difficulties and keep moving forward. Instead of being discouraged by challenges, consistency helps us see them as part of the process, opportunities for learning and growth. In the end, consistency in practice is what turns dreams into reality. Whether it's perfecting a skill, learning something new, or building expertise in a field, regular and consistent effort ensures that we are always progressing, even if the changes are subtle at first. As we continue to invest time and effort into our goals, we build the foundation for long-term success, moving closer to mastery and realizing our dreams. Consistency turns potential into achievement. With each small action, you steadily build the resilience and momentum needed to overcome challenges and reach your goals. Every small, consistent action compounds over time, transforming aspirations into tangible results. Whether it's in personal growth, skill development, or achieving long-term goals, consistency remains the driving force that propels us forward. It teaches us the value of patience, persistence, and focus, reminding us that lasting success is not the result of quick victories, but the outcome of continual, dedicated effort. By embracing consistency, you lay the foundation for enduring success in every area of your life, building a future that reflects your unwavering commitment to growth and achievement.